What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the live stream for yet another week. Or I should say, we're starting another week. Yeah, that's more appropriate. It's Sunday, right? We're starting another week, so welcome to the live stream. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to take a second to say a special warm welcome to Ryan Garrett, who posted 20 minutes before the live stream even started to say, "Hello, Brian. How has your week been?" And to you, I will say, my week has been good. My week has been very good, Ryan. How has your week been? I already know how your week has been. Everyone, we need to give Ryan Garrett a hearty welcome applause because Ryan Garrett landed himself a new position this week with the heavy civil contractor that he's been eyeballing for a while. I don't know if any of you guys recall from last week, but yes, he's been eyeballing this heavy civil contractor for a while, and he officially got the job offer and is going to start his new position. So congratulations, Ryan. Super pumped for you, man. Landmark Property Solutions, which I believe is Ryan as well, right? Did I remember it this week? Excuse me, pardon me, sorry, drinks, you know how it is. I'm not gonna explain. I'm just gonna continue to burp. Anyway, yes, raining and half loads have started. Spring is coming 100%. We're in the same boat here in Michigan. Although true Michigan form, we spent the last 2 days at 60 degrees, and tonight it's, well, we've already got the cold front blowing through. It is currently 36 degrees, and we're supposed to get 1 to 3 inches of snow tomorrow. That's Michigan. But that being said, yes, we have got the seasonal load restrictions on and active, I believe, here in Michigan. If not, they'll be on within the next week or two. So yeah, spring is definitely here. It is starting to spring. It's great fun. Heavy equipment operator 97. Maybe that's Ryan. Damn it. I can't keep it all straight. I think heavy equipment operator 97 is Ryan, and Landmark Property Solutions is not Ryan, but I can't remember. I'm sorry. How's it going, man? Ryan, not Ryan, whoever you are. Going good. Matt, Dig Nation 21. First of all, if you guys don't go follow Matt's channel, you should do that now. And secondly, where do baby excavators come from? This is a great question. I really wish that your parents would have done a better job at kind of explaining to you this process, but I will pick up where they drop the ball. So what happens is a large excavator, you know, imagine like a 385 size, comes together on the same job site. It happens from time to time with like a 349 or something like that. And sometimes those two excavators will start to work in close proximity. And it's rare, but it happens that sometimes the buckets come into contact with each other. And I'm not going to go into graphic detail, but sometimes those buckets do contact each other. And generally about 6 to 9 months later, depending on the gestation period of that particular excavator, a small baby bobcat will pop out and be splatted upon the job site. So most of the time that is done out of sight. You won't ever see a baby excavator come into being on a job site. Generally, it will be delivered on some sort of a trailer because we as society deem the birthing process too taboo to really view in the public. And so it's generally the mom excavator will go to a quiet, tucked away corner of the job to birth her young. And then the young will be brought forward and presented on a trailer, and then everyone will bitch about how miserable it is running the baby excavator. So, like I said, Matt, I really wish that either your parents or the school system had done a better job conveying that information to you, but I am happy to help you in that area. So I do appreciate. Great question. Jackson, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. And Ryan, you are my man. You got me. It is already on live chat. I actually remember before we even started up tonight, so I feel like I'm growing up in the world because I'm remembering these things. Dozer Dennis, how are you, sir? It's good to see you. Great question. What am I doing tonight? The live stream. That's it. That's all on my agenda. So actually, believe it or not, Merrick Miller, which may or may not be listening, he is the guy that I went and worked with in Ohio back in the fall. I'm actually going to be going back down there to work with him and Wayne like the second or third week in April here. He was up because his wife has family actually right down the road from us, which is kind of how Merrick and I started talking to begin with. And so he came up and we went and had dinner with them this evening, and right before they headed back, they're, like I said, they're driving back to Ohio now. And so yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to. It's just having dinner with Merrick and his wife, and then coming home and getting the kids mad dash scrambled ready for bed, and then I came down here to start the live stream up, and that is where we are. Jackson won't be able to stay for the whole live stream. Dad and I are going to see the new Batman at 6. Gotten really good reviews. Dude, you ain't got to apologize about that, man. Go have a good time seeing Batman with your dad, and tell your dad I said hello. And I don't just say that for everyone else in the comments. I don't just say that to say it. I've actually talked to Jackson's dad on the phone, so I know him. Not know him, but he knows who I am. I know who he is. Tell him I said hi. Congrats, Ryan. Oh yeah, there we go. He goes in for orientation on Wednesday. Got my supplies to clean up some equipment cabs. Yeah, baby, and it better be pledge. Did you get? Let's put it this way. Did you get orange or lemon scented? That's how we'll know. That's how we'll know, guys. Ah, delicious, delicious. Let's see here. Boom, boom. Turner G. Nebraska got 3 inches of snow last night. How are you today? I'm doing great. So my parents used to live in Nebraska up until this past year. And so the general rule of thumb is whatever you get in Nebraska, I get about 2 days later, day and a half to 2 days later. And sure enough, we're going to get 1 to 3 inches of snow tomorrow. So that front that was hitting you yesterday or last night is going to start hitting us tonight. And it's going to be a great time. I'm just so excited about it. I just love it. Juan Ramirez. Hello, brother. I am happy I came across your channel. Seeing your videos are really helping me study and become one of the best operating engineers here in Northern Cali. Starting classes next year. Juan, thanks for watching, man. My answer is always the same whenever I get a thanks. Glad I found you. Thank you. You guys make the channel grow and go, and everything that we are doing is 100% because of you guys, the subscribers. So I am happy to help. I love helping guys. My email is actually displaying. Oops, it was displaying right over there. But feel free to reach out if you got any questions. If you need advice or help on anything, feel free to reach out. Contact at Diesel and Iron Productions. You'll see it show up down here again here in a minute. But absolutely don't hesitate to reach out and shoot me an email if you got questions about stuff. It is Ryan. So Heavy Equipment Operator 97 is Ryan. So that goes, now we go back to Landmark Property Solutions is, oh man, I'm sorry. I feel like Landmark, I feel like I need to send you a t-shirt. Contact me with your mailing address, because I really feel bad that I cannot remember your name to save my life. So contact me and I will send you a shirt. And I need your shirt size too. So mailing address and shirt size, I will send you a shirt, and it might even just say, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, and then have Diesel and Iron underneath it. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Let's see here. My name's Ryan. Oh, it is Ryan. No, I'm sorry. I'm lost in my own comments. Sweet Jesus. It's not looking good, guys. It's really not looking. I'm getting lost in the first 5 comments we've got. Anyway, Jackson, they touch bucket tips. Exactly. It's just, now you can play the game in an excavator, just the tip, and that is where you try to only, let the tips touch, and there's a much less risk of having a mini excavator show up on the job site. But yeah, if you go much more than the tips, you will 100% see a mini excavator show up soon. Oh yeah, Ryan covered it. Just the tip during the day, and they get freaky at night. Exactly. They go full bucket on bucket. That's all I'm gonna say. Full bucket on bucket. Jay, what's happening? What is going on? Good to see you, man. I'm glad you came out. I never went to heavy equipment school. Started in the ditch. Parenting was rough in those days. And generally when you're down in the ditch, you don't physically see the bucket touches happen quite so much. Most guys try to be a little discreet about that. So. It's all right. Like I said, I'm happy to educate in all aspects of this industry. I am happy to educate, and so I'm just glad tonight I was able to provide some guidance on how many excavators come to be. Let's see here. Oh, Merrick is in here. Merrick, stop texting while driving. It's dangerous. Either that or your lovely wife should have the phone in her hand and be texting. So I need to have someone to come work with in a month, and it's not going to happen if you're splatted on the side of the road because you were texting some guy live streaming from his basement. Which, by the way, guys, Merrick was supposed to be on the live stream with me tonight, But unfortunately, well, fortunately, let's put it that way. Fortunately, his wife got promoted at her work, and she's got to be back at 5 o'clock in the morning. And so I told Merrick we would just have dinner so he could get down to Ohio in time for his wife to be at work on time tomorrow. So that is why Merrick is not here in the flesh. I got an all-purpose cleaner for the big messes, but I got some Orange Pledge. My man, Orange Pledge is where it is at. I love the orange. It's so good. It delights me to get in my cab after I've used Orange Pledge because it smells deliciously good. It's so good. Let's hear Brandon. Valid question. How is the lingerie shoot going, Brandon? He did send me, now you kind of laugh, but he did send me a picture of his 4-foot python wrapped around his neck the other day. Luckily, it was kind of like a chest up shot, so if there was any shenanigans going on down south, I was not aware of that. Gladly, I was not aware of that. So Simple Green, Simple Green works, but at the same time, that pledge, the advantage of the pledge is it really cleans up nice, especially for your floor mat. You don't actually have to scrub the floor mat because that pledge gets in there and kind of penetrates through the dust. 2 or 3 coats of that pledge on your floor mat, once you've just kind of knocked all the chunks off and gotten most of the stuff off, it will make it nice shiny black like it was a brand new floor mat. It's amazing. It's incredible stuff. Love it. And for how much I pitched Pledge and I made that entire down and dirty on Pledge, Pledge sent me a $3 off coupon, and that was how they congratulated me. I was like, thanks guys, I appreciate that. Let's see here. Darren. Yes, Darren. Landmark Property Solutions is Darren. You know what? I'm going to write it because supposedly that helps you to write it down. So Landmark Property Solutions is Darren. There we go. I'll forget next week. You're welcome. I used some Chemical Guys all-purpose cleaner on some mud in my car that Dad had, and it worked so well. When I saw it on sale, I bought some of my own. I haven't even heard of that stuff, but I'm curious to try it now that you've said that. Maybe for the really, really bad floor mats and stuff like that, we could try some of that. All-purpose cleaner from Chemical Guys. Where did you get it from, Ryan? Just out of curiosity. Let's see here. SDK 4422 just got my dream job. Gonna be on a D8 building beach in South Louisiana for weeks. That's freaking awesome. That's really awesome. That's gonna be a fun job. You should get some pictures. So I don't know if you guys are aware. Let me back up for a second. On Sweat and Grime, we have started to feature listener pictures. So if any of you guys have some really cool shots from your jobs, and I don't care if it's dirt, I don't care if it's landscaping or lawn care or framing or whatever, if you've got cool jobs or cool photos of your job site, shoot either a message on Instagram to me or shoot them over at contact@dieselandironproductions.com, and we would love to feature you. Give me your information so that I can actually tell the subscribers whose pictures I'm featuring. But I'd love to feature those. But all that to say, you're gonna get some freaking badass pictures of the D8 on the beach, man. Share away and we'll post them up for you. I'm super jealous of that job. Yeah. It's not a python, it's a boa constrictor. Oh, excuse me, Brandon. I'm sorry that I confused a python and a boa constrictor. They're both constrictors. They're both ridiculously long, huge snakes. To all of us who aren't weirdos, Brandon, they're the same effing snake. I hate to break it to you, but no one cares about the difference. I'm just kidding, but sort of not. I'm just kidding. And Brandon is right. He found out today that you can own an owl in Michigan. Like, legally, you can own an owl. I don't know what I would do with an owl as a pet, other than just kind of brag about it. I feel like it would be more work than it was worth, but still, you do have the option here in Michigan to own an owl. So if you're ever curious. Dennis, when I was on the pipeline, we used to whip the counterweight of the machine in front of you with the slings on our hook. What do you call that? Okay, let me see that. We used to whip the counterweight. Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, you don't have to have anything special for that. I think that's just your standard run-of-the-mill BDSM. And I think this is just where, as a society, we tend to box these sexual what's the word I'm even looking for? Oddities, if you will. We tend to group these sexual oddities to where it's, only people enjoy some of the passionate throes of BDSM. But in reality, the excavator world also can enjoy just a little light whippage on the backside from time to time. Obviously not too much. You don't want to leave a mark because that could get you in trouble with the foreman. But really, just a light whipping from time to time across the back of the counterweight. I'm not one to judge. Let's just put it that way. As Brandon can tell you guys with all of the things Brandon has shared, I'm not one to judge. I will crack a joke here and there, but if your excavator, if your hoe is in the mood for some light whipping, then by all means, I would not. I withhold judgment. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's see here. Boom. Brian, guess what? Brandon also follows Timber Vixen. Timber Vixen on Instagram. You have to follow her. Timber Vixen, I'm fairly confident that's the one that was like, I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble. She was scantily clad in the vast majority of her pictures, and they weren't even about like being in the timber industry. Is that the same one? I don't remember, and I'm not, and you know what? I'm not even going to look. I'm fairly confident. Gentlemen, I'm married to a beautiful woman, and she doesn't have to hold a chainsaw to be extremely attractive. And so I don't need to go follow Timber Vixen to get my fix, if you will. I'm good. I'm good. And yes, that's all I'll say there. But you guys go enjoy the lovely photos of Timber Vixen. And again, I do not judge. I withhold judgment on all of this. So enjoy. Just wash your hands afterwards. Let's see here. That's right, SDK. Is it a nude beach? Yeah, now you definitely have to take pictures so we can post them up. I'm in Canada, so I get the Chemical Guys stuff from Canadian Tire. I just got it because it is scentless with no chemical smell when you're done. Huh, that's nice. I'm not in Canada. See if Tim Hortons will start carrying it, because they come down here into Michigan and I can pick it up. Frank, what is going on, my man? I will absolutely, Frank. Now, fair warning, it's probably going to come with a smart alecky caption, because it wouldn't be our relationship if we weren't poking fun back and forth. So it will most likely have a smart ass caption below it, but I will 100% feature your backhoe pictures. In fact, I would be honored to feature some of your backhoe pictures. And that being said, Frank, it's never occurred to me until now, for whatever reason, we need to get you on the podcast. Let me know if you have any interest in being on the podcast, and I'll reach out to you and we'll try to schedule a time to get you on with me and the guys. That would be a lot of fun, because we could actually give each other some crap in person, and well, not in person, but over the phone anyway. So Ryan, there's several brands that you can use. That's just what I knew and was on sale. Fair enough. I'll have to look it up to see what it's comparable to. It's like people calling all the machines hoes or excavators. Brandon, a hoe is an excavator. It's the same thing, like boa constrictor, python. They're interchangeable. It's uninhabited. It's the island right beside Grand Isle, Louisiana. Well, that's no fun. Efix, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming out to the live stream. Jay, right now we're working a reclamation landslide for a creek. Well, that's pretty slick. You guys need to, yeah, absolutely forward over some pictures so we can start featuring some of these cool jobs you guys are doing. And if you'll send me your credentials, like for Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that, we will tag you in it so that we can drive some of the diesel and iron traffic over to your Instagram and Facebook. It's not about gaining more people for us. It's really literally we want to showcase what you guys do. So shoot some pictures. Matt, yes, you're 100% right. There are a crap load of Ryans, and then I am a Ryan with a B in the front. Man, I love this time of year. My allergies are going nuts. And right now I'm in that phase where like the back of my throat gets really dry, but somehow I'm snotty at the same time. I don't get it. I don't understand how allergies work. Anyway, Brandon, I am not shocked at all that you like some BDSM. In fact, I would say the opposite. Had you said you're not into BDSM, I think my jaw would have fell to the floor, quite literally. So, yeah, that's not a shock to me at all. Jackson, there was this dude on my Strange Addictions that had a sexual relationship. Yes, the guy that used to like go lay underneath his car and like somehow dry hump it from underneath. I'm familiar with this story, and that guy had some issues. Absolutely, yes. So anyway, let's see here. Dennis, that was so worth asking. I don't know where we were at in the conversation when you said that, so I don't know how to respond to that. I'm sorry. Matt, so would guys selling the hose be pimps? Well, so here's the deal. If I'm running a machine and I happen to, in my rear view camera, see the guy behind me whip me across the counterweight, and I'm just okay with that, I would not consider you to be a pimp. Now, same scenario, in the rear view camera, you happen to see a harness come across the counterweight, and you hear the slight whoosh, and then you turn your machine and you say, hey, you can do that, but it's going to be $20. That is where I would consider you pimping. But if it's a mutually beneficial deal where everyone's just cool with it, I wouldn't consider that pimping, because no one's really making any money off of it. That's purely for pleasure at that time. So, you know, very different circumstances. I know it seems like we're splitting hairs, but in the eyes of the law, that's very different circumstances. And I would not recommend pimping your hoe, because the authorities would absolutely come after you. I'm fairly confident that there are some laws that are being broken there. Those are deep waters to start playing in, and I'm not going to recommend it. Going to be living on the dredge and heading to the beach. Push silt with the D8. 28 days on, 14 days off. Good food, free room and board. That, yeah, man, I tell you what, as a single guy, I would say that sounds like an absolute blast. Having family, I don't, that would be really, really hard to be on a barge for a month straight, even though you get 2 weeks off. So, but man, I tell you what, for single guys in the industry, what a fun job. That would be a blast. Ryan, in that case, Brian is a former pimp. Ryan, you're under the assumption I ain't demanding money on a daily basis, brother. Like, when I go out on a job, I'm always demanding money from people. I think I'm still pimping. I think that's just kind of how this whole thing works. Andrew, what's happening, man? Oh, smoking some stingray and steak. I've never had stingray. Now, I'm hoping that means stingray, like an actual stingray, and I'm not cool enough to understand like some weed reference there. But I've never had stingray. If it is truly stingray, what does stingray taste like? I've been curious. And stingrays are freaking awesome. Frank, do me a favor, Frank. Will you shoot me either in any of the channels? So you can email me at contact@dieselandironproductions.com. Hit me up on Instagram. That'd be the easiest. Hit me up on Instagram. Will you shoot me your email address or your phone number? Shoot me your phone number. We'll just chat over the phone. We've got a short little questionnaire that I'll have you fill out just so that the other guys will know kind of a little bit of your backstory. But let's get you scheduled on the podcast here in the next 2 weeks. I think I'll have to check. I think Matt has someone lined out for this week, but maybe the following week we can get you on. But I'd love to chat with you. That'd be an absolute blast. Yeah, Ryan, I agree. We should make that podcast live. I will try to do that. I will try to make a point. So what I'm thinking is maybe we'll schedule it for 2 weeks out. And next Sunday when we go live, one of the things we'll talk about is what night of the week we're going to do it. It's going to be either a Wednesday or Thursday, most likely. So yeah, I'd absolutely make that live. I agree. Great idea, Ryan. EFIX, C&H announced 200 new pieces of equipment to be released between now and 2025. Anything you're excited for? So I didn't know about the E-Series. So I am privy to that information because I'm doing work with Randall Riley, which is a journalism company in the construction industry. So realistically, as exciting as that number seems, realistically, there's only, I think, 40 pieces of construction equipment. The rest of those will be all on the ag side. So that's still a lot. I mean, 40 new pieces of equipment between now and 2025 in the construction sector, like that's crazy. But it's not the 200 that, you know, there's a little bit of some manipulating the headlines there for some clicks. But that being said, the one I'm by far and away the most excited about that still really hasn't hit the shelves is the Minotaur. The Minotaur is supposedly coming. I was told that we would have one locally, which, by the way, let me back up so I can tell you how I know this information. The Case dealership I used to work for has one of these bad boys. You see, if the camera is going to pick up my phone screen and do it justice, they got one of those bad boys sitting up there. That is the new TV620B, the largest skid steer in production. It is currently sitting in Novi right now at the location. And oh, sorry, got distracted. Anyway, went up there, took a look at that. I'm actually going to run that machine on Wednesday of this week. I'm in the process of putting together a video where we are going to, it's not going to be like a full review video, but it's going to at least be a walk around talking about some of the highlights. Excuse me, pardon me. And then I'm going to get in it, put it through its paces a little bit, and just get a feel for how it operates. And I'll put a video together, and that should be coming out in the next week or two. All that to say, while I was up there talking to all of my old coworkers, it sounds like the first Minotaur is going to drop, like the full real production Minotaur is going to drop sometime in September. That's honestly one of the things I'm most excited for, is the Minotaur to come out, just because it is a totally new machine. No one's done that before, and I'm really curious to see how it performs, how it rides, how well does it actually doze with such a short track base. So yeah, I'm excited to look at it. Outside of that, I don't know, now that I know there's an E-Series excavator out, I'm kind of curious to see what they did with the E-Series. I had no idea that was coming down the pipeline. Jackson, so I do landscaping, mowers, touch tips too. You know, Jackson, I don't think lawnmowers have the ability to touch tips. I think it's more one comes up behind the other and starts bumping the backside. I don't know. You know, I'm not a biology guy. I didn't study biology. I didn't get into that side of things. I just know the industry I'm in because I'm in this industry. I'm not really sure how that would work. Yeah, I really don't. Or it could be, you know what? It's probably more like fish now that I think about it. I think what happens is one lawnmower comes beside the other one. As the first lawnmower deposits its eggs, if you will, the second lawnmower will come and spray its contribution onto the eggs of the other lawnmower. I actually don't think there's any like bumping and grinding involved at all. I think it's purely done like fish reproduce. But that's purely speculation. I will absolutely say it's purely speculation. Northeast Ohio Farmer, my man, what's happening? Thanks for coming and hanging out, brother. Let's see here. eFix, my host, scoop diamonds, and the authorities have never bothered us. You know, good pimps don't get caught. That's same as good drug dealers. They all go hand in hand. If you don't get caught, you're doing something right. So, where's the dredging job at? I'll pick all my shit now. I think he said it was Louisiana, right? Oh, Ryan Garrett, you were an equipment pimp because you sold them at a dealership. That's true. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that was kind of like a brothel, wasn't it? And I was just grabbing money and sending hoes out the door. Yeah, man. That kind of makes me like the OG pimp. Like, I don't know. Part of me feels really guilty making that comparison, but part of me is like, yeah, I'm a badass. I was the OG pimp master for Case. Like, I should put that on my old business cards. OG pimp. That's what it is. Equipment pump. Yep. Yeah, I did the same thing, Jackson. Pimp. Let's see here. I sound so professional, but so BS at the same time. Love it. Dude, that's all life is. So I was a salesman, right? Being a salesman is knowing how to BS and then knowing where the line is to where a little BS. So this is true sales. 100%. I'm going to give you a true sales perspective right now. if you're a good salesman, there's always a little BS in there. But the thing is, your BS is not going to materially damage someone if you get called on it or if someone puts it to the test, right? So like, if I was BSing somebody and I sold them a machine that was totally not the right size and could not perform the way they needed it to, that hurt someone. You're an a-hole salesman. But if I had just a little BS because you catch me off guard with one of those questions where you're like, oh, can it do what the Caterpillar machine does? And I'm like, yes, it can. I think they just added that feature. You know, no one gets hurt there, because if it doesn't have that feature, like maybe the air conditioner automatically turning off, that's when you get in the machine and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot that wasn't true. I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry anyway. And no one got hurt, right? That's salesmanship right there. So all I do is I apply that salesmanship to the live stream when we talk about mating equipment. So it works. Andrew, no, like an actual stingray. It tastes just like a scallop. Oh, you should not have told me that. I love scallops, man. So if you guys aren't familiar, you take scallops, go to the seafood section and make sure it's good and fresh. Unless you want to have a really bad time, make sure they're really good and fresh. Go get you some scallops, marinate them in some garlic butter, and throw them out on the grill, and you cook them until they go from like this kind of pinkish weird clear color to just white, almost like fish when it's cooked. And then pop those babies off. You can do bacon around them. You don't have to, because by themselves, oh, they're so good. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Get you a little white wine to go with it. Oh, I tell you what, you want to make it good with mama? Get her some scallops, get some white wine. You set that table, put a couple candles out. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be making a baby excavator yourself by the time the meal's done. Hold me to it. Hold me to it. No BS on that one. Anyway, Andrew. Oh my God. Oh, no, not Andrew. That's Bobby. What's happening, man? Thank you for the $10 donation. I really appreciate that. I really do, brother. That is awesome that you guys are getting back to work. That is really, really awesome. So let me scroll back up here to my comments. Thank you. Again, thank you. I love it. I really do appreciate it when you guys contribute. I really do. I don't take that lightly. I know that especially in this industry at this time of the year, a lot of us are a little strapped for cash. Although, you know, here Bobby's throwing his money around because he's back to work. But no, I do. I really appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the support. Let's see here. Oh, Equipment Pimp. Yes. Weeks Marine out of New Jersey. Huge company, though. They have work all up and down the eastern seaboard. STK. See if they'll let me come out for like a couple days and hang out and do some videoing and get like capture the kind of work that you guys do, and we'll line it up and tell them I'm a production company, so we can actually negotiate to where if you guys have me out, I'll give you a killer discount on some promotional video stuff. I'm just saying. But yeah, seriously, see if they'll get me out there. I'd love to video that stuff. Dennis Frank, I would say backhoe would definitely prefer a certain position. Which position, Dozer? Which position? You have to say it out loud. That's the rule. If you're gonna suggest it, you have to say it out loud. Let's see here. Autocorrect does not like pimp. Imagine that. I can't tell you the number of times I've called Rick a mother ducker or duck you. Just all the time. Or this excavator isn't worth shot. I get that a lot. Yeah. Autocorrect is not the friend of the skilled tradesman. They have some monster iron. Yes. Luca, what's happening? I don't think I've seen Luca in here before. Welcome to the live stream. I appreciate it. Ryan, excited for the DL550, the last all new piece I can think that was high-speed bulldozer. Yeah, the high-speed dozer. That one right there. I did not ever get from the get-go. Like, I just looked at that. I'm like, okay, most people that run in third gear in like a D6, like you've got to be good on that dozer to carry a nice flat grade in third gear. It's doable, believe it's absolutely doable, but you got to be good. So cruising around trying to doze at 45 miles an hour, like how is that going to help anybody? Oh my goodness. I could see maybe if maybe if you had it equipped with GPS and it could keep up, okay, you might get a little more production. But honestly, I did not understand what they were expecting that machine to do. But the DL550, like, that's a very practical machine. I can see how that would work for a lot of different applications. So I'm right there with you. I'm really excited to see the DL550. Bobby, it's all right that you're 33 minutes late, especially if you're gonna come in here throwing around cash like you're Mr. Money. We just got through talking about me pimping hoes, and here you are throwing $10 bills out. Like, man, it's getting crazy in here tonight, guys. Woo! Oh, let's see here. Sophisticat, I don't think I've seen you either. Any newbies out there? I want to get into the industry, just finished school and ready to ditch the office. Best tips are just go out there and start plugging away at it and stay humble. Realize that the school that you got is a very, very small portion of the knowledge that you actually need. And just get out there, keep your mouth shut, stay off your phone and learn, and you will do fantastic in this industry. And then just have a thick skin, obviously, which, I mean, if you've been on a, I don't know, if you were in the excavating or the construction industry on the office side, or if you were just in general office work. But in this industry, obviously, you got to have a thick skin. You got to be okay getting yelled at and screamed at and called an idiot and stuff like that. It's okay. Just let it roll off your back. Everything will be all right. But yeah, if you've got any questions, I tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. You'll see my email address scroll right down here. It's contact@dieselandironproductions.com. Don't hesitate to shoot me a phone call or an email. Let me know what your questions are. I am more than happy. I kind of mentor people all the time in this industry. So Frank, business on both ends for the backhoe. 100%. That's you know, man, how deep do we want to go in this perverted conversation that we're having? I'm just gonna say that backhoes, you know, instead of the traditional this way, they've got the ability to do. We have a term for that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it out loud, but I'm just saying that business on both ends means you get a little. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, back to business. Equipment pimp. That's something you can put on your resume and be proud of. Goddamn right. Equipment pimp extraordinaire. I like it. I like it. Where can I get some merch? I like the hat and the tee. If you head over to dieselandironproductions.com, www, I'm gonna put it right in the comments for you. dieselandironproductions.com. You should see a link to the store right there on the front page. It'll take you over. You can shop your heart out. I appreciate the support. Like, you guys buying merch has allowed me to do some cool things in the last couple months. I've been able to get a couple extra lenses, an extra microphone. I will say that's the stuff that happens behind the scenes that you guys don't really see, is the equipment upgrades. So Sweat and Grime, the podcast, which if you don't listen to Sweat and Grime, go subscribe to Sweat and Grime. I'm just gonna toot my own horn here. We do a great job. We've got a great podcast. Everyone loves it. That I have yet to come into contact with anyone, including my hyper conservative mother, that doesn't enjoy Sweat and Grime, even though we say the F word like every 3 words. So anyway, all that being said, Sweat and Grime is a part of Diesel and Iron Productions. It's all kind of rolled together. Your contributions are making things like this and this possible. All of our recording equipment for Sweat and Grime, yeah, that's because of you guys buying merch and donations, like Andrew just did. That is one, or I'm sorry, Bobby. That is absolutely, that gets put to good use, and we use that to create more content for you guys. It's not just going into my pocket. So I appreciate it when you guys go and buy merch and when you contribute, all of that. So Kodak White, man, we got a lot of new faces in here tonight. I know it can obviously depend, but how long does it take to become a foreman? You know, I have to put the disclaimer out there. It totally depends, but it is totally realistic. If you are good at what you do, if you really buckle down and you start, here's the quickest route. Find a foreman that you can shadow. actively start asking questions like, hey, can I stay after work on my own time and see how you input stuff into your iPad? Can I, stay late and go through the orders with you? Or, can I sit with you and maybe drive around the job for 20 or 30 minutes one day to get a feel for what you do? When you have a foreman that is willing to teach and he finds someone that's willing to learn, he will 100% start teaching you. And like, it's totally realistic. Within 2 to 5 years, you could potentially be in a truck. That's fast, just fair warning. Don't expect that to be the norm. But that being said, in certain circumstances, if the stars align, if you find someone that really appreciates you, if you've got the ambition and the work ethic and you've got the knowledge, absolutely within 2 to 5 years, you could be sitting in a white truck. No doubt. SDK 100%. That's a great way to start. Haul truck or roller. In fact, that job I was telling you about in Ohio, I'm taking Isaac, my videographer, down there with me. He's totally green, but he wants to learn the industry. I'm throwing him in a rock truck, and he's going to spend a week in a rock truck, and we'll train him on the fly, and that's where you start. So yeah, absolutely. Bobby, Kodak, all depends on the size of the company, work ethic, and drive. How much you show you want it. I've become an architectural landscape foreman in less than a season. I had a lot to offer though. Yeah, those. So anything under probably 2 years, I would say, is really, really, really rare. Like, you came into it with a ton of knowledge already, and then you happen to hook up with the right person, and there happened to be a need in the company. It's doable, but that is by no means the norm. But I would say within 2 years, that's attainable. You're gonna be pushing, you're gonna be humping, you really got to show yourself, but that's doable. Sounds great, boss. I'll damn sure let them know. I'll let you know next Sunday if I have internet on the boat. Yeah, there you go. If not, when I get back on the beach. Oh, so you're skipping town like next week. Okay, well, I hope you have internet so we can see you, but if not, you better come back with a shitload of pictures for us. Yeah, that was years back. Been running heavy equipment, excavating for 2 seasons as an operator. Want to keep it that way. That's the thing. It's nice making the money of a foreman, but it is a lot of responsibility. It is a lot of extra time on the job. Like, it's a substantial step up when you move out of the seat of a piece of equipment and move into the seat of a white truck. It is a very, very big change, and a lot of guys don't necessarily realize what that means. So don't want to discourage you by any means, but just recognize it is substantially more headache, and it is substantially more work than just running a piece of equipment. Lonely Bison, yet another new guy. Thanks for coming and hanging out. New to the stream, 17 years old, and my boss wants me to start running his tub grinder with a Komatsu PC170. Got any tips? So I've never, fair warning, I've never run a tub grinder before. But that being said, what I will say is, with a tub grinder, you want to keep it busy, but you don't want to overload it and overwhelm it. And so what you'll want to do, and it'll take you a little bit to kind of get your pacing, but you'll want to just have a nice steady pace where you're throwing some stuff in it. You go back to your pile, you bring some stuff closer to you, you get it ready, and then you swing another load over and, fix your pile, bring it in. It's not the most exciting work. It can be satisfying. Running a tub grinder is absolutely satisfying, watching all that stuff get chewed up, but because it's kind of a slow and steady pace, it's not exhilarating. You will get bored probably pretty quick, but it's just keeping a nice steady pace to where there's always something in the grinder, but it's not loaded to the gills, heaping up over the edges. You just want to keep it busy and working. As long as it's busy and working, you're not burning fuel for no reason. And if you overload it, you can absolutely jam it up, and then you're going to waste a bunch of time trying to unjam it. And yeah, so just nice steady pace. Brandon seen Dragon Force this Sunday. I don't even know what that is. Having crazy thick skin and keeping an even keel no matter what the situation is very key. Great advice, Bobby. Very good advice. Sophisticat, yeah, 1 hour's in the seat. Honestly, offer to run the roller or the rock truck. Chances are, because everyone's hurting, you're absolutely going to get you some seat time. Jackson, I want to be an equipment pimp. Well, Jackson, you got to stop fooling around with lawnmowers and get into the dirt world, brother. Tell your boss to get into the dirt stuff. Get him a little mini excavator, get you a skid steer. Start pimping, my friend. Start pimping. Ryan, it's not for the faint of heart. It's tough work being an equipment pimp. 100%. You got to think there's pimps on every corner, man. And everyone's trying to pimp that equipment. So, like, you got to be a go-getter. Every once in a while, you may have to get a little aggressive. You may have to put your foot down. You may have to kind of carve out your territory and let the other pimps know they got to back off. Like, it's work, man. It's work. Let's see here. Dennis, I think if two backhoes have twins, one will be a skid steer and one will be a mini. And you know what? Frank would disown them both. That's the sad truth, is Frank would just... he would send them away to a Russian orphanage. That's what would happen. Oh, and then, yes, exactly. And Frank counters with, it would be considered a miscarriage. Exactly. Heartless, Frank. Heartless. And if it's a split egg situation, you get a skid steer backhoe combo from JCB. Exactly. That's like a mutant. Yeah. That's where your kid had some genetic issues coming out and you get the JCB. Yeah. And yes. Yeah. And I'm going to keep all of my comments to myself. Yes. Let's see here. If you screw up enough and the company likes you, definitely become a foreman. So that's another way to become a foreman very quickly is you can take one of two roads. You can be super aggressive, be really good at what you do, and you can really be a go-getter, and you'll get promoted. May take a little longer. The shortcut is do the absolute worst job you can, be terrible at everything, and then the company promotes you just to get you out of the way so that they can get some production in. I wouldn't recommend that way, but sometimes that is the shortcut. It just depends on the company you work for. And of course, there's always the it's not who you know, it's who you... Yes, that's a great way to get promoted as well. Absolutely. Again, I don't recommend it. Mute Chander. My God, we have a lot of new people in here because Milton Escobar is right. My goodness, guys, we got so many new people. Awesome. So Mute, how long might I expect to be in a rock truck? Totally depends on you and your company. So if you do a good job, if you're getting aggressive and trying to learn more, you're asking to, hey, is there a chance I could stay late a little bit and get some seat time in the excavator on my dime? Like, you're gonna get promoted real quick. You're gonna get out of that rock truck real quick. If you're sitting in your rock truck on your phone all day and they keep having to honk the horn at you 5 times because your radio's too loud or you're watching TikTok videos, you're gonna stay in that rock truck a long time. Sorry guys, my throat is dry. Allergies are really kicking in. So really it just depends. I think I spent about 8 or 9 months in a rock truck before I got moved up, and that was only because I ended up moving. That being said, I probably wouldn't have spent more than about 4 more months or so in that rock truck before I would have started really pushing to get out of it. And that's really key. If you feel like it's stagnating and you're not going anywhere, absolutely reach out to your foreman and say, hey, I understand that you need me here. I'm more than willing to, do what's needed of me, but this is what I want to move into. And then that's where that proactive, like, hey, is there any chance I could stay late and get some seat time in the dozer? Is there any chance I could stay late and get some seat time in the hoe? Give me a pile to move, or give me something that isn't mission critical. I've got to stay on grade and I'll stay an extra hour each night and get some seat time and start to learn. That goes a long way in this industry. People recognize that. Milton, took me 3 years to get on a dozer, nothing but groundwork learning and a dump truck. And that's the best education you can get, though. It really is. You've got a far better education than these guys that are just starting in the seat. Let's see here. Very true. That like has to be pretty big. Ryan Garrett, it's okay. I have been busy all week covering jobs. Mini digs can't handle more for me. Ooh, Frank is lobbing some mini bombs. Ooh, my goodness. Ooh, getting spicy. Jackson, I agree. Tub grinders are badass. They are awesome machines. I love tub grinders. But running and feeding one all day, that would get old pretty quick, I think. Ryan, I'm not sure how much time I'm going to get in a haul truck for my interview. I'll be starting on a restoration crew, and then once I'm comfortable, I would start covering for other people if someone called in sick or went on vacation. If you're doing a restoration crew, I can't imagine they're going to have much really big equipment out there, because it's a restoration. You're generally skid steers, mini excavators, maybe a loader or a backhoe sometimes. So it sounds like they're kind of easing you into the bigger machines, which makes total sense. Let's see, Jackson, there's one at the dump we go to. They grind up all of the debris and turn it into compost. Yep, that's one of the most common places you'll see them, outside of just guys that do land clearing. That's the other common place you'll see tub grinders. Ryan. Ooh, Ryan is lobbing another grenade back. I like it. Frank, you didn't seem to hate on that 8-ton Bobcat too much in one of your recent videos. Yeah, and it's a Bobcat. Like, who... I'm starting to develop more relationships in the industry, so I have to be careful, like, who I badmouth. It's a Bobcat. Who likes Bobcat? I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of Bobcat. I have to stop talking like that. I do, because there's a good chance I am beginning a relationship with Doosan, who owns Bobcat. So I have to stop bad mouthing Bobcat. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan. They're not good. Anyway. Let's see here. Lonely Bites. Number one thing is always keep a really good eye on the grinder. The radiator gets full of dust very quick and it will catch on fire in a second. I had one burn on the... Oh, that's nice. Well, interesting. That's a good thing to know. Thank you, SDK, for the tip not to burn down your tub grinder. Great. Jackson, let's not talk about the Russians. That's right. Richard Vincent, my man, you are late tonight. Like, hey, you're like 50 minutes late. You're supposed to be the first comment in the freaking comments, and we didn't see you last week either. What's going on, Richard? Frank, but I didn't have to backfill with the mini. Okay, but you could, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into it. You know, you're trying to bait me into the discussion yet again. We've had it 100 times. I'm not even getting into it. Ryan, you mean when someone hops in the foreman's truck on Friday and arrives in the same truck Monday, that promotion is soon to come? 100%. Had it happen multiple times on our job sites. Not necessarily the promotion part, but the... Wait a second, wasn't her car parked there Monday and it hasn't, or Friday, and it hasn't moved? Oh, and there's the foreman's truck, and oh, yep, that happened. Yep, 100%. Jackson, Brian, that recent episode of my dad and I's good friend Mark was good. That was probably my favorite podcast yet. Mark did a great job and you guys were asking really good questions. Yeah, we really enjoyed that one. So if you guys don't know what he's talking about, we interviewed Mark Ratcliffe. And he's a wildland firefighter, and it was a really entertaining episode. We got to talk about a lot of the aspects of firefighting that I had no idea, like what that life was like, and it was a really, really fun, engaging conversation. So yeah, I'm with you, Jackson. That was a fun episode. I would far rather backfill with a skid steer and mini. That accounted for a quarter of my summer. Yeah, you don't have to worry about your boom hanging out behind you and all that business. Hey, damn it, Ryan, you're baiting me into it too. Son of a... Wayne, what's going on, my friend? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the Wayne Troyer that is right outside Cambridge, Ohio, that I, worked with alongside Merrick. It's good to see you. In fact, I was having dinner with Merrick earlier this evening, and we were talking about you, and it sounds like I'm coming back down there to work with you soon, and it sounds like I might be bringing my videographer to work with us and maybe drive a rock truck. And my sweet wife is delivering a beverage. Thank you. You're sweet. I appreciate it. So anyway, look at that. That's what my wife just made for me. And that right there is why I don't need to go follow Timber Vixen. Timber Vixen is not going to prepare me a beautifully done martini. That's just fact. Anyway, back to it. Wayne, my videographer is going to come down. If you're good with it, obviously, I need to talk to you in person and run it by you, but we'll get him trained up on that rock truck, and he can run the rock truck for you for pretty cheap, and I'll pay him to video the whole thing, and we will all look like movie stars by the time it's done. So yes, Amen to not being on your phone in a rock truck. Do the best at whatever you do and you're gonna get noticed. 100%. Absolutely. All right, so more back and forth banter between Frank and Ryan. I'm not getting into it. I'm not falling for it. Ryan, my cousin, was looking at a 14-ton zero tail swing Doosan today. So the 14-ton zero swing, I do not believe I've run. I ran their one, oh, I think it was a 140, which is the 14-ton. It just wasn't, it was the standard hoe configuration. That was the one that Taylor Abraham had down there in Ohio that I went and ran when I mucked out the farmers ditches on that project, if you guys remember that one. That machine was one of the fastest excavators I have ever run. That is no joke. That's no exaggeration. I was down there for a week, and even at the end of the week, I was still over swinging my dig point because, excuse me, pardon me, I was still over swinging my dig point because that machine was so fast on the swing motors. It was an awesome machine to run. So yes, the Doosons, I wasn't as impressed with their, I think Carson Shifsky out there in Minnesota had the 225, if I remember right, and I wasn't as impressed with the 225. It didn't have quite the power. The swing speed was significantly slower. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad machine by any means, but it was not nearly as zippy as that little 140 was. I gotta try this martini. Ooh. My wife makes a good martini. I don't know if you guys like martinis or not. My wife makes a good martini. That's good. And we've got these jalapeno stuffed olives in them. They're good, guys. I'm telling you, they're good. In the name of increased productivity, I'm new to the stream and I appreciate you doing stuff like this. Oh yeah. So I said it earlier, I'll say it again. You guys are the reason I do this. You're the reason I do all of the stuff on the channel. And so I truly do appreciate the support. You guys drive the channel, and on that note, if you need any help, if you have any questions, right now, in fact, you can see it down here. Here. There it was. My email address. Don't hesitate to reach out. I am here to help you guys. I'm not doing this because I just want to be a famous person. I started this channel and I continue to do this channel because I want to help guys get into the industry and I want to help guys progress through the industry. So don't hesitate to reach out if you've got any questions. So yeah, I appreciate it. We're here every Sunday. Come back and see us and hang out. Look at that. Now I will say this. It makes me laugh that SDK is like in full-on ownership of the live stream mode. I love that. I truly do. It makes me laugh, but it's a happy laugh. This live stream was never intended to be me sit here and be the star of a show. This was totally intended to be a spot where we get to all hang out. We get to talk, ask questions. I want it to be approachable to people. I don't want to be like this unreachable YouTube person. And so really what the live stream has turned into is exactly what you're seeing with SDK. Like it is a group of us. There's kind of a core group of us that all hang in here every Sunday night. And then people filter in and out that have questions and want answers to things and need help with something. So that comment like literally delights me to see that you guys have as much ownership of the live stream as I do. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the dynamic we have in here. Let's see here. So more back and forth with Frank. I'm not getting drawn in, even though my veins starting to pop on my forehead. I'm not gonna get drawn in. Hey Jackson, enjoy your movie. Tell your dad I said hello, and we'll catch you next week on the live stream, brother. Ryan, again, not getting drawn in. Not getting drawn in. Mute. What are good states to go if I want to work around heavy equipment and make money? And when working for a company, do I get to choose what machines I operate, or do I get trained in what's needed? So it totally depends. Let's start with your first one. What states to move to? Really, the northern states are going to do you good. I know the New York kind of area. So that New York, Pennsylvania, kind of northeast area pays really, really well. I know Michigan, we get paid really well, especially if you're union. I know California pays really well. Washington pays really well. Now your cost of living is dramatically more expensive, but they pay really well. To give you an idea, my take-home pay here in Michigan was right around, I think, 36 an hour. And then I had my whole benefits package on top of that. So I think total take-home equated to like 42 or 44 an hour. Out in Washington State, that's closer to like 60 or 70 an hour, I believe. We were talking to someone that's in the union, and I want to say it's right around that like 70 something an hour mark. But again, your cost of living out there is significantly more expensive. So once you kind of bring it all down, you're probably pretty close to being on par with what we make here in Michigan. But all that to say, the northern states, generally speaking, are going to pay significantly more than your southern states, because there's a lot more union presence up north. When it comes to what machines you're going to run, it really depends on the company. Some companies are, no, you're going to learn them all and you're going to run whatever we put you on. Other companies really specialize you on a piece of equipment, and that's kind of your piece of equipment. So it really just depends on the company. Darren. Oh, I remembered. It's Darren. Yes. Now can I do it next week? That's the question. I buried a Doosan 140 in the swamp in November. You know, it happens. It happens from time to time. I try to withhold judgment because it's just a matter of time before I bury a machine. In fact, there's a decent chance we're about to start in on a giant pond project. There's a decent chance I may end up buried in the wetland. We'll see. Bottom line is pretty important. Oh my goodness, not getting drawn in. Not getting Ryan and Frank. You guys need to calm it down. My goodness. Favorite brand of machinery. That's a hard one to answer, because are we talking loaders? Are we talking excavators? Are we talking, because I can't just say favorite brand. We can say that. If you want to say favorite brand, if you want my favorite brand of equipment, it is not the answer you're expecting. It's whichever one has the best dealer supporting your area. That's my favorite brand of equipment in your neck of the woods. Now, if you want to talk brand specific, when it comes to dozer, either a Case or Komatsu. Loader, I would say probably Case or Cat. If it comes to excavator, Kobelco or Caterpillar. If you're talking skid steer, I would say the new Alpha series, or I'm sorry, the new B series from Case. Like, I know you guys call me Case fanboys, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, the Case B series, those are solid freaking skid steers. Great visibility, great cab layout, like all the way around. Really, really solid machines. We're talking mini excavators, probably. Oh man, Kubota maybe, depending on the size, because even within the mini excavator class, there's a little variation there. If we're talking, I think I covered loaders, dozers, covered excavators, skid steers, minis. Yeah. What else do you need to know? I mean, honestly, I'm not one of these brand fanboys. Let me just put it that way. I'm not a brand fanboy. I'm literally in this class, what machine does the best job? And there's not one brand that can uniformly deliver that across their entire product offering. You know, Doosan is a great example. That 140, like, that was in that class, that 140 was an amazing machine. Now, Doosan doesn't deliver that up to the 225. I was not nearly as impressed with the 225 as I was on the 140. Similarly, Case Dozers is a great example. You put me in the 1150, 1650, or 2050, like, those are awesome dozers. They are pushing machines. You put me in the 750, the 850, yeah, they still push, but they've still got pilot controls for your blade controls, and your wrist is freaking shot at the end of the day. I'm sorry. Case dropped the ball there by not converting those to EH machines 5 years ago like everybody else in the industry did. So no one offers just the full product lineup. We've got everything. It's incredible. So like I said, wasn't the answer you were wanting or expecting, was it? Dennis, thanks for having me on last week. Really appreciate it. Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you being on. That was a blast. I had a great time. We'll absolutely do it again in the future. I had a great time. And likewise, I keep meaning to tell you, stay in touch. Like, I know we had the phone conversation the one night. We did the live stream together. Absolutely stay in touch. I don't want this to be kind of like, okay, that was cool, and then we go our separate ways. Like, I want that to be a continued relationship, like with all of you guys. Alex, do you have an Instagram? I do have an Instagram. It is at Diesel in Iron. I'll put it in the chat for you. At Diesel in Iron. That is my Instagram tag. We absolutely do have an Instagram, and we're pretty active on it. My wife, fair warning, does all of the postings, but if you send me a message or anything like that, I'm the one that actually responds. I'm the one that gets all of those. Oh, let's see here. Ryan, last week's live stream. I agree. Last week's live stream was a lot of fun. Dennis did a great job. Like a true professional, you wouldn't have guessed that was his first, well, I didn't take that back. Have you done live streams before? I can't remember, Dennis, if you'd said you'd done them before. You acted like a seasoned pro. Sophisticat definitely sending. Yeah, I'm serious. Don't think that's me just saying stuff. Send me an email and I'm happy to. So I've talked to guys that are wanting help with just their resume. I've talked to guys and girls that are wanting help, like getting into the industry. I have a couple people that I just flat out mentor. One guy in particular, I talk to him on the phone about once every month to every other month, and he kind of talks about where he's at in his career, what he wants to do, where he wants to go, and I kind of help advise him. I am legitimately, I get great pleasure from helping people get into the industry and succeed in the industry. I am here as a resource for you guys. Let's see here. SDK at Mucha. I don't know where you're at, but from my experience, the pay is better in the north. Yes. But it's warmer in the south, so more work. Yes. But I will tell you, because I lived in the south, I worked in the south, then I moved up north. Even with the layoff, you're most likely going to make more money in the north than you are in the south. I was able to, now you're going to work your ass off for it. When I worked for Dan's, we would work for about 6 to 7 months out of the year, and I was able to clear about $80,000 a year in that time frame, and I would sit at home and draw off unemployment for the rest of the year. That's how much money you can make in the north. I'm sorry, but Texas was not paying that. Not anywhere close. Deep hatred of backhoes is getting, it's not even the deep hatred of backhoes. It's like, we've had this discussion so many times, and I'm trying really hard not to get sucked back into it, because it would just be rehashing the old conversation. Yeah, and then Frank and Ryan are going back and forth plotting to wrangle me into this next week. You guys, my goodness. Yeah, this is bad when the chat is starting to plot against me. Let's see here. As a construction staking surveyor, this channel really helps me understand what is going on in the mind of a machine operator while on the job site. Good info. Jay Donovan, I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching. And if you don't mind, we would love to chat with you as a staking surveyor on our Sweat and Grime podcast. If you are at all interested, check out Sweat and Grime. We're on all of the YouTube platforms. We're on all of the podcasting platforms, but we're basically geared around the skilled trades in general. It's not just specific to dirt. We're all skilled trades. I would love to get you on to talk about your side of the industry. If you're all interested, shoot me an email at contact@dieselandironproductions.com. You'll see it scrolling down here at the bottom. I'd love to have you on the podcast. But yeah, I appreciate you subscribing. Yeah. Mute. I told you. I knew it. Everyone wants me to just say caterpillar. Not from this guy. Nuh-uh. I don't make things easy. Sophisticat, is there any machine you'd love to work but haven't yet? Here's what I'm gonna do. I am gonna answer your question, but I want to give the chat the opportunity to first, because I think most people in here that actually know me and have subscribed and know the channel can answer this one on my behalf. So I'm gonna give it 5 minutes. Actually, I'm not even gonna give it 5 minutes. Someone in the comments, if you can guess the one piece of equipment, there are multiple pieces of equipment that I want to run that I haven't yet, but the one piece of equipment that I want to run more than anything else in the industry that I haven't had a chance to run yet, what is it? Tell me in the comments, and I will come back to this. I promise you I will come back to this here in a couple minutes. Let's see here. Yes, Ryan, 100%. Like, the veins are starting to the pop here, the eyes starting to, yeah, it's so SDK, Texas is the best place in the South. It's always popping. Ranger Excavating out of Austin is always hiring. They have some big iron. That's where I got my start, was Ranger Excavating. They are always popping. They have big iron. They got big job sites. It's a blast to work there, but their wages are garbage because it's Central Texas, and Central Texas has terrible effing wages. So, but that being said, it's a great company to work for. I mean, you're running big stuff. They got D11, 385s, 375s. They got track loaders out the wazoo. They got this, that, all the big stuff. Oh, Ryan, I think Brian needs to find a nice next gen cat. I'm with you, cat. Call me so I can run some of your new stuff. Travis Spafford, never seen you before in here. Thanks for hanging out on the live stream. Thoughts on union versus non-union? Oh, let's open the can of worms. Why not? They're both good in their own way. Here's my goodness, that is just, oh my goodness. Hang on just a second, guys. I gotta mute my phone. Uh-oh, I think my parents had to put their dog down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. Nope, just kidding. Just kidding. All that for nothing. Anyway, union versus non-union. Here's the deal. Let's talk non-union route. Advantages. You're going to start on the end of a shovel. You're not going to be in a machine. You are going to work your ass off. And then over the course of a year to a year and a half, you will work yourself into a machine. Depending on the size of the company, it may be a little bit longer. But the education you receive is by far the best education that you're going to get in the industry. Now, downsides of non-union is you're going to start at pretty low wages, probably $12 to $15 an hour, because it's not union, you have no skills, and you're shoveling. What do you expect? So wages aren't going to be as good. Depending on the company, you may or may not have benefits. Most likely, I would say you're not going to have benefits. You're not going to have retirement, anything like that, until you get further up the food chain with that company, or you move to a little bit bigger company. So there are disadvantages and there are advantages. Now, union, the advantage is you start at I think it's 60% of journeyman pay, and over the course of your 4-year apprenticeship, you ratchet up to where you're 100%. The other advantage, if you look at it this way, is you start in the seat immediately. You're not a laborer. They're not going to put you on the end of the shovel. Now, in my mind, that is a huge disadvantage to you because your education comes from being on the end of that shovel. We've talked about it 100 times on this channel. You get your education while you're on the shovel. And I think the fact that the union bypasses that step of your career is a huge disadvantage and a huge disservice to people. That's my opinion. So, advantage is you don't start on the shovel and you make really good money. Disadvantage, though, is you don't start on the shovel and you don't get that education. So I wish that was a cut and dry answer. It's really not. There are literally advantages and disadvantages to both. What I always recommend to people, what I always tell people, is follow the same path that I did because it's such a good path to follow. Go start in a small non-union company where you're going to get the true education. You can move into a piece of equipment relatively quickly. You know, within 6 months to a year, there's a good chance you're at least going to be getting some seat time. You're getting all of the foundational education you need. You're getting seat time relatively quickly. You're suffering on pay. After, 2 to 3 to 4 years with that company, now go hiring at a union company, because a lot of times too, you can bypass the apprenticeship. You can actually show that you know what you know, and they'll give you a journeyman card. So you don't have to spend the time in the apprenticeship, and now you're getting full union pay as a journeyman, you're getting benefits, you're getting retirement, you're getting the training center fund, like all of the perks of being in the union. That's what I recommend people do. So I hope that answers your question, Travis. All right, I'm gonna skip a couple comments real quick and I'll circle back. We're gonna go down to the piece of equipment that I want to run. Frank, it is not the backhoe. Nice try. Merrick D11, yes, that is accurate. That is one of them, but it wasn't the one I was thinking of. iDig track loader, ding ding ding, that is the one. I have yet to run a track loader in my entire career. I am effing dying to run a track loader. For those of you who are new to the channel, let me get a drink. For those of you who are new to the channel, last year I booked a trip down to Louisville, Kentucky, because I found someone through the YouTube thing that was willing to let me go down and run a track loader. So I booked a trip. We drove down to Louisville, Kentucky. We had an Airbnb. We actually timed it to where my parents came into town too, so they could watch the kiddos, so that I could go out and work. They would all hang around Louisville and see the sights of Louisville. The guy stood me up, totally ghosted me, wouldn't call me back. It was a total waste of a trip, and I have yet still to run an effing track loader. And it's my favorite machine out of all of the machines. The track loader, like 963, 973, my favorite effing machine, and I have yet to run one. So, but to circle back to Merrick, the D11 is 100% up there. That is, the reason I don't talk about the D11 as much is because in my mind, a track loader is much more attainable than a D11. I'm confident that through my time here, I will find a contractor that's comfortable with me getting in their track loader. A D11 is generally reserved for the biggest of the big sites, like borderline mining operations. I feel like getting some seat time in a D11 is like a very, very small chance for me. But that being said, that would be the pinnacle of this entire channel. Like, I would be comfortable shutting this whole thing down, even if I didn't make a dime off of it, if I got the chance to spend a couple hours in a D11 pushing dirt. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, that's how bad I want a D11. But I don't talk about it because I feel like it's like the odds are pretty slim. But yes, I want a D11 really bad as well. But still, the track loader, the track loader, Anyway, anyway, let's see. Boom, boom, boom. I think Brian needs to find this. Yes. That's okay. I know it's not really where you have worked, but have you been to mining sites and anything you can share? No, outside of like gravel pits, which isn't really true mining. I mean, it's considered mining, but no, I have not gotten to visit any of the big mining sites. I'd love to. I'd love the opportunity to at some point and kind of showcase that side of the industry. But as of right now, I don't have enough clout to really be worth it for people to let me on those job sites. So, by the way, 10 minutes, guys. We're gonna do 10 minutes and then we're shutting this baby down. Dozer Dennis, no, that was his first live stream, but I'm used to BS. Have over 70 students. Yeah, well, there you go. Dennis is a seasoned veteran of sitting in front of people and just airing hot air. So that is why he was such a natural here on the live stream. Dennis, I do appreciate you, man. It was fun. We'll do it again for sure. Mute, I would love to operate excavators, wheel loaders, or haul trucks because I've not done anything like it. They're all fun. They are all fun in their own ways. Haul trucks, they get boring quick, you know, fair warning. But especially if you get in the articulated dump trucks, dude, those things are tanks. Have fun in them. Like, if you see a big old freaking dirt pile that is kind of on the way and you want to go over the big dirt pile, go over the dirt pile, because those trucks are freaking awesome. They can, no joke, they will climb a 45-degree slope fully loaded with 45 tons of material, and they will climb a 45-degree slope. I have done it, and it was the coolest effing thing I've probably done in this industry. Just watching that thing, and it's slow, but with 45 tons of dirt in the back, we marched up that hill back onto the haul road. It was awesome. The car box, what's going on, man? It's been a little bit. Brian, just got a job at a land clearing company. Want to thank you for all the videos on getting into the industry. I'll be back on when I get on the equipment. Dude, that's awesome. I'm thrilled to death for you. I'm happy that you were able to get into the industry. Reach out if you got any questions, man. If there's anything I can help you on, reach out. Let's see here. Dushimam. Let's see here. We're gonna get it. Hang on. Bear with me, guys. Dushi Mimana Eliza. Dushi Mamana Eliza. The problem we have when you teach, there's no camera on your foot. That's why we can't do it that easily. Which machine are you referring to? Because if you want a foot cam, I will get you a foot cam. Now, that does beg the question, Eliza. Do you have a foot fetish? Is that what? Do my feet need to be bare? And now, as many of you know, with the whole OnlyFans, I'm not opposed to taking my shoes off, but I may have to charge for that to give you the foot camera with no shoes on. And on that note, I'm going to eat one of these delicious olives. Yep, turns out it's delicious. But in all seriousness, that wasn't even a word. But in all seriousness, let me know what machine you want to see the foot on, and I can 100% get you an angle where I show my feet. I'm assuming that would probably be Dozer, because that's about the only one I can think of where you're really actively using your foot. But yeah, if you want me to do a Dozer video where I'm actually showing my foot pedal what I'm doing, I can 100% do that. Just let me know. Same love for heavy equipment when I started out. Like everything else in life, if you want enough, go for it. It's a great career. I am a firm believer, if you are passionate about something, in fact, let me take that back. I'm not even gonna go that route. Let's say this. I'm a firm believer that when you figure out what you want to do with your life, the primary motivator for that should be, what are you passionate about? Because you will never excel at anything that you are not passionate about. Can you get by and do a decent job? Sure, absolutely. Are you gonna love going to work every day? Are you gonna excel at it? Are you gonna knock it out of the park every day? Nope. That's where 100% I would recommend people go pursue something that you're passionate about. And that's why I tell people that are kind of like, oh, it would be kind of fun to run the machines. Well, if it's just kind of fun to run the machines, don't get into this industry, because you don't even start running machines until 2 or 3 years in this career. So don't, and even then, like, this is a job. At the end of the day, it is a job. It's a blast running the machines. I love running the machines, but there are absolutely days where it is flipping work. It is work. Now, I still enjoy it because I'm passionate about this, but if I wasn't passionate about it, it'd be boring as crap. So go pursue something that you're passionate about. You'll be successful doing that. Let's see here. Yes, track loader. I'm sorry, I missed your comment. Darren had it first with the track loader, 100%. I'm sorry that I did not give you credit earlier, Darren. I skipped your comment. I missed it. Everywhere I go lately, I've been seeing them, and I blame it on you. You're welcome. I'm not even gonna like take that as a negative comment. You're welcome for appreciating one of the coolest machines on the job site. You're welcome. I know Brian has been a little envious of me. Now, that is true. I am envious of the next gen machines, 100%. But my dream machine that just, oh, I got to finally run it, is definitely the track loader and the D11. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Heavy forestry equipment, the ones that you can cut and clean trees. Feller buncher. That would be badass. So I will say this, if we want to get into like all the cool, goofy, like awesome machines, oh hell yeah, I'd love to run a feller buncher. I feel like that's like totally out of the realm of, because it's so far outside of the scope of work that I do. I don't think I could ever convince a forestry company to let me in their $1 million feller buncher to dick around for the day. Like, I'd love to do that, don't get me wrong. I'd take someone up on that in a heartbeat. And I would have Isaac out and we would video the shit out of that. But like, that's a really expensive machine to not have any experience with. But yeah, I'd be all about that. Even a skidder would be fun to run around. Like, those things are monsters. Let's see here. Travis, local 49er here. By the way, up north pay is superior. 100%. It's always better pay in the north. 100%. Frank, I do have a backhoe back here. My Case 580M. And this is the Frank machine. That's why we have it, is an homage to Frank. That's oh, sorry, I should probably center it. Just kidding though. The reason I've got this, I wanted to get some of the machines that I sold while I was at the Case dealership. That's why I've got the ones in the background that I do. So, ooh, I need to dust that shelf. Whew, that's a little dirty. But yes, I'm not. You guys have got me talking about backhoes again, damn it. I tried so hard to avoid this conversation. Oh my lord. I don't hate backhoes per se, like just because they're backhoes. I only hate backhoes because I spent that whole year bouncing around in one, and I think there's better machines to do the job. Why am I talking about this again? Damn it, Frank, you win. All right, you and Ryan win. You got me to talk about backhoes again. Son of a bitch. Anyway, small union company I interviewed at had their pay set between 26 and 40 an hour plus full benefits and retirement plan. If it wasn't for the smaller equipment, I would have went there instead. I will say that. So you can, especially in this day and age, because times are so different, you can absolutely find the smaller companies that will pay really well. They do have benefits. They got all the full package, if you will. But back in the day, that was super rare. Like, you just accepted if you were working for a small residential company, you were going to make 15 bucks an hour and you weren't going to have any benefits. So times, they are a changing, and in which case, that's an even stronger argument in my mind. Go work for the non-union company for a handful of years because you're making good money and you do have the benefits. Go work for them, get that education being on the shovel. I know you don't want to be on the shovel, but go get the education on the shovel, then go union. So that's where I'm at. Oh, the Kentucky trip, good times. Yeah, that was not a good time. Yeah, never have I seen Brian so sad. That looked like someone shot his. Yeah, man, because not only did I go down there and get ghosted, but then I got sick on top of it. It was literally a waste of a trip. I didn't get to film any equipment because that was also when the snowpocalypse came through that shut down the entire South. Like, the universe aligned and said, Brian, you're not running an effing track loader, all right? That's what happened on the Kentucky trip. If you want to see a mini documentary on the trip, go look at my channel. Go look for the Kentucky video. It should pop right up. Oh, Alex, when you work union, let's say the apprentice pay is 100%. Oh, let's say the apprentice pay 100% is $30. Will you stay at that wage, or is it every 6 months we get a raise after finishing the apprenticeship program? No, it doesn't work that way. What happens is, and you should be able to look up your local's union contract. You should be able to Google, like for us, it's local 349, or I'm sorry, not 349, 324, local 324 union contract. And relatively quickly, you should be able to find that. And everything's listed. It's not secret information. It's a public contract. The way it works is all of the wages are negotiated at full journeyman pay, and then the apprenticeship is like a percentage of that. And if I remember right, don't quote me on this because it's been a while since I've looked at it, but if I remember right, it's like you start at 60% of journeyman pay, and then it's every 6 months you bump up by 5% or something like that. And so by the time you get to year 4, the end of year 4, you have bumped up to where you are at full journeyman pay. Now, that's at regular scale. It's up to your company if they want to pay you over scale, but they are only required by the union to pay you scale, if that makes sense. That's the way all that works. All right, somebody draw me a line. We got to shut this baby down by the time I get to the bottom of my comments here. Preston, new to this type of work. Hey, thanks for hanging out, by the way. I haven't seen you in here. I appreciate you showing up to the live stream, brother. New to this type of work. Thanks for the videos. Learning a lot from you while doing my hero training. Not hero. You know what? We're going to call you a hero, damn it. We're going to stick with it. Enjoy your hero training, Preston. I hope you come out of this thing wearing a cape. You should. We all should wear capes in this field because we're totally underappreciated. But legitimately, thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. And if you need anything, right there, yet again, it's timing out perfect tonight. My email address is showing up right down here every time I go to reference it. Like, the timing could not be more perfect. Shoot me an email, guys. Shoot me an email if you have questions. I'm more than happy to answer them. Mute. Imagine having a D11 in your backyard. That would be hilarious. And I'd be totally willing to do it. Absolutely. Ryan, did I get a hold of Curtis? No, I have not. Honestly, Ryan, the past week has been nuts. I've got a ton of stuff blowing up between potential sponsors and manufacturers that are trying to get a hold of me. I've got more stuff with the dirt. I've got more podcasts. Like, it's been nuts. So I'm working on that, but I have not yet. Dennis, we just answered the union versus non-union. I don't know what you want there. I don't know what to do. Oh, we got to kill the spam message for sure. We're just gonna remove that post. No one wants spam. Come on now, Goffer Manesh. I'm going to follow the channel to come back from this and even email you. Do it. 100% subscribe, because I'm, again, toot my own horn, but I put out a lot of good information here. Like right now, we're working through the Down and Dirty series on how to start your own dirt company. Come on, guys, that's good information. I got excavator tips, dozer tips. I got how to put pipe in the ground tips. There you go. Let's see here. Flex paid. Haven't seen you. Thanks for showing up. Can you do a hand control on a wheel loader? What do you mean by hand control, Flex? Let me know. And I will go below the line. If you put it in there real quick, I will go below the line to answer your question. What do you mean hand control on a wheel loader? Do you mean the like joystick control to where you don't have a steering wheel? Or are you literally talking the bucket controls? You want to see what my hand is doing? Let me know, because I have access to a wheel loader. I can go down the road to my farmer buddy and I can go make that video relatively easily. So let me know what you mean. Frank, this guy's right. I'm passionate about backhoes, yet he still hates on them. Obviously, the work is not done yet. See, Frank is as passionate about backhoes as I am about mini excavators and skid steers. And like, the opposing forces of the universe. We come in here and we butt heads every week, but that's the beauty of this industry, is because we're all passionate about construction. And so Frank and I can butt heads and still love each other and consider each other brothers, because that's what this is all about. And I wish I wouldn't have said I would answer FlexPaid's comment, because like I could finish right here with my hands crossed. What a beautiful finish to the live stream that would have been. Like, let us pray. That's where we go from that. Like, what a perfect ending, man. All right. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan and Frank, you finally won. You win, damn it, you win. Anyway. 40-minute haircut and we still turn and burn. Respect. There you go. There you go. So you really ready for a podcast with the backhoe guy? Frank, come on, bring it. Bring it, old man. I can take you on a podcast. We're going to be poking fun at you. I'm going to be making perverted sound effects go off all the time. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have a blast. There's our line, but I'm going to go down just a little bit further. Someone draw me a new line. This is like we're totally, absolutely done. Totally done. Let's see here. Hey, Ryan, absolutely. It has been fun. This has been fun. Frank, it's been fun. I know. I've been following your conversation. I haven't said it out loud, but I've been following your conversation. It has been fun. Darren, have a great week. Absolutely. Juan, what scale are those heavy equipment off the shelf? Are they 132nd? Hang on just a second and I'll tell you. Case 580 M die cast. 1/50th. They're 1/50th scale. Yep, 1/50th. Flex paid. There we go. Like boom and bucket joystick. Let me steering wheel. I need a refreshing. Okay, so what I'll do, I will make a note here to reach out to my farmer buddy. So I will make a note I just did make a note, and then I wrote all over my fingers because that's where we're at in life. Apparently, I'm a mess. I will reach out to my farmer buddy and see if in the next like 2 or 3 weeks, if I can get over there and run his loader for a bit and do kind of a basic tips and tricks video. But I will make sure to have a hands cam going so that you can actually see what my joystick is doing as I operate the machine when I go into piles or dump or smooth or back blade, whatever. So I will absolutely do that for you. Thanks for the suggestion. Jay, when do you think you would get your hands on a motor grader, preferably joystick control? Jay, I'm gonna be totally honest. As much as I would love to do a grader, there's 2 things I have going against me. First of all of the machines I present on my channel are machines that I feel like I've got enough knowledge that it's really worthy of me to share with guys. And because I was never a blade hand, I really don't feel like I have the knowledge to share that. So what I'm going to try to do is find someone that would be willing to let me stick a camera in their cab while they talk about what they're doing. Secondly, it is hard as crap to get your hands on a blade if you are not working for a dirt company. So unfortunately, I think the ability to get my hands on a blade and do a video of one right now is pretty slim, but I don't take that as me not trying. I am 100% trying. It has been in my, it's been on the back burner for a long time right now, just because it's so hard. But I have that in my mind when I'm on job sites, asking guys if I can stick a camera in their cab. So we'll see what happens. Let's see here. Colton, Balin, which by the way, this is our line. Carbox drew the last line. We're out after that one and we're calling it. Just fair warning. Colton, thanks for showing up. I haven't seen you in here before. I appreciate it. Just watched a couple videos, new to the channel. Brand new, but newer operator joining iTunes. Happy to hear your tips. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. Hit me with an email. Hit me on Instagram. I got so many ways to contact me. Contact me. I'm here for you guys. So that being said, Darren, stop with your questions, damn it. Blade on a skid steer is a total waste of money. There's your answer. I can't shorten it and make it any more sweet, but it's 100% true. If you try to put a blade on a skid steer, you will waste your money. They are not grading machines, especially if it doesn't have the actual C-frame to hold it to the machine. There's too much flex in the boom arms and the boom cylinders to actually carry a steady grade. And on top of that, you're already working with a short track base or wheelbase. It's miserable, terrible. Don't waste your money. And that's it. I'm out, guys. We're done. Thanks for hanging out. As always, honestly, in the live stream, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. You guys enjoy your week. Stay safe. And we'll catch you guys next weekend. See ya.